The Brewers take on the Pirates, 7:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Milwaukee Brewers are minus 190, totals 8. And if you like the Pirates in an upset victory on the road here, at home here, they're plus $1.65 for some money line cash. Now the Buccos are also minus 105, catching the 1.5 on the run line. Chad Kuhl's expected on the mound here for Pittsburgh. Freddie Peralta for the Brewers. Now we went 3-2 in our 5 premium sports picks on my Patreon website yesterday. That's our second straight winning day on that Patreon page. We also improved to 2-0 in our last two $1.99 daily best plays on that Patreon site. 6-3 in our last 9 in that very same category. Now one more thing to add here, we're also hitting at 70% in our last 10 board member tier package picks on that Patreon page. And the good news is we have another board member tier package pick going off here this evening. We currently have over 950 members who are signed up and active on that site. And if you want to see which one of these YouTube picks I'm actually betting on personally, link for that page is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. Now, Freddie Peralta is 7-3 thus far in the season, 2.29 ERA, and a .89 whip. The righties also struck out 140 batters in just 102 innings of work. The first place Brewers have won their last 2 straight, 4-1 straight up in their last 5. They're also winning 75% of their divisional road games. This Brewers pitching staff is leading the majors in strikeouts per game. They're also holding their opponents to just 6.4 hits per contest when they travel. They're taking on a last place Pittsburgh club who's dead last in the league in scoring on average per contest. The Pirates are also winning just 28% of their divisional games as well. Chad Kuhl comes into today's start with a 3-5 record and a 4.38 ERA. And when it comes to the total in this one, Pittsburgh went 80% to the over in their last 10, 4-0 to the over in their last 4 at PNC Park. Meanwhile, the Brewers saw their last 5 straight road games all get over the line. I'm going to lean toward the Milwaukee Brewers minus 1.5 and the over 8 runs. Next matchup, O's Tigers, 7:10 p.m. East. The Detroit Tigers are minus 155, numbers 10. Casey Mize for Detroit. Alex Wells for Baltimore. Now Wells has just 10 1/3 innings under his belt. He's got a 4.35 ERA and a 1.55 whip. His last place Baltimore club is winning only 34% of their road games. The O's also have the fewest wins in all of the American League. They're currently 30 games below 500. Meanwhile, pitching-wise, Baltimore's in the bottom 3 in road hits allowed. They're taking on a Tigers team who won their last 2 straight, 9-4 straight up in their last 13. Detroit's also 24-18 straight up against the American League at home. They're in the top half of the league in fewest runs allowed on their home field. Casey Mize has 5 wins thus far in the season, 3.63 ERA, and a 1.13 whip. He's also fanned 85 batters already. When it comes to the number in this one, the Tigers are 25-17 to the under at Comerica Park against American League opponents. Meanwhile, the O's saw 3 out of their last 5 road games stay under the line. I'm going to lean toward the Detroit Tigers minus 1.5 and the under 10. Next game, Blue Jays, Red Sox, 7:10 p.m. Eastern start time. The Boston Red Sox are minus 120, totals 10.5. Eduardo Rodriguez for Boston, Hyun-Jin Ryu for Toronto. Now Ryu's 9-5 thus far in the season, 3.44 ERA and a 1.18 whip. The lefties also struck out 89 batters already. The Blue Jays have a winning road record against divisional opponents. They're also in the top 3 in the game in scoring. Vlad Guerrero Jr. has hit 32 homers and knocked in 80. He's also leading the majors with a 1.080 OPS. Meanwhile, Marcus Semion's hit 24 home runs and knocked in 62. They're taking on a Red Sox club who's in the bottom 5 in hits allowed at home. Eduardo Rodriguez comes into today's start with a 5.23 ERA and a 1.35 whip. When it comes to the total in this one, the Bo Sox saw their last 7 straight at Fenway stay under the line. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays went 5-1 to the under in their last 6 when traveling. I'm going to lean toward the Toronto Blue Jays plus $1 and the under 10.5. Next matchup, A's versus the Angels, 9:38 East. The Oakland A's are minus 140, numbers 9. Frankie Montas for the A's, no confirmed starter yet for the Angels. That in mind, though, the Angels have won 5 out of their last 7 ball games. And they rank at the top 3 in home scoring. Shohei Ohtani's hit 37 home runs and knocked in 81 runners. The slugger's also second in the majors with a 1.058 OPS. This Angels lineup is in the top 3 in home scoring. They're taking on an Oakland club who lost 4 out of their last 5. And they also have a losing record against divisional opponents. Oakland's in the bottom 10 in hits per contest, bottom 10 in road walks. Meanwhile, pitching-wise, the A's are in the bottom 10 in striking batters out. And when it comes to the scoring in this one, the Angels saw their last 4 straight home games get over the total. They're also 30-14 to the over at Angel Stadium for the entire season. I'm going to lean toward the LA Angels plus 1.5 and the over 9 runs. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup. It is going to be Rockies versus the Padres, 10:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The San Diego Padres are minus 280, totals 8, juice to the over. Joe Musgrove for San Diego, Kyle Freeland for Colorado. Now Freeland's 1-5 with a 4.85 ERA and a 1.47 WHIP. The Rockies still have the fewest road wins in all of baseball right now. They're 11-38 when traveling this year, and that's good for a win percentage of just .224 in that category. Colorado's dead last in road hits per game, and they're scoring just 3.1 runs per contest when they bat first. They're taking on a Padres club who's done a pretty good job against the NL West. They're 23-17 in their divisional contests, and they're winning 64% of their divisional games at Petco Park. The Pods are in the top 10 in scoring, top 3 in walks at the plate. Fernando Tatis Jr., he's hit 31 homers and knocked in 69. He's also third in the majors with a 1.024 OPS. Meanwhile, Manny Machado's got 71 RBI on the season. He's in the top 10 in the majors in that category as well. San Diego has Joe Musgrove on the bump here tonight. He's got 6 wins on the year along with a 3.13 ERA. The righties fanned 123 batters already and has a really good 1.01 WHIP. And when it comes to the number in this one, San Diego's 15-10 to the under in their divisional games at home. Meanwhile, the Rockies are 25-19 to the under against National League competition on the road. Give me the San Diego Padres minus 1.5 and the under 8 runs. And with that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap, powered to you by my Patreon website. I like Milwaukee minus 1.5 over 8 runs. Detroit minus 1.5 under 10. Toronto plus $1 under 10.5. Los Angeles Angels plus 1.5 over 9 runs. Before I give you my next and final free pick for the video, one final reminder that we are 2-0 in our last two $1.99 daily best plays on my Patreon website. We're also hitting at 70% in our last 10 board member tier package picks on that Patreon page as well. I'm going to lean toward the San Diego Padres minus 1.5 and the under 8 runs. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. If you guys do end up getting a package here today on my Patreon website, just keep in mind Patreon's going to bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, guys, happy Thursday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.